Hello and welcome to the Otaku Network podcast. My name is Steve.
And I'm David.
We're into week 3 of the 2025 summer anime season. So without further fanfare, we will get into episode 3 of Summer Hikaru Died. So we start the episode with a flashback of an incident where Hikaru and Yoshiki are eating watermelons as little kids and doing the typical little kid watermelon thing and freaking out about swallowing seeds. Hikaru relays a story to Yoshiki about someone he knew who did the same thing and then pretty much turned into a watermelon man and died. Back in current times, Yoshiki visits the Hikaru's family residence, bringing a watermelon with him that he got from one of his relatives. He is struggling with his situation, his imprisonment, you could say, in regards to the thing that is occupying Hikaru. The casual threat of destruction if he wavers from his friendship with it. He decides to get in contact with the woman who had approached him at the grocery store in the previous episode, the woman named Rie, and she meets with him to discuss this supernatural dilemma that he's running into. While at a family diner, she relays to him a little bit of her past, where a similar thing happened to her husband that essentially caused the somewhat destruction of her family. This causes Yoshiki to distance himself from Hikaru. One day at school, while trying to avoid Hikaru, a lover's spat of sorts kind of breaks out between them. Hikaru figures out the issue with Yoshiki's personality change in regards to him being the other instead of being the real Hikaru that's dead. Whatever emotions and memories of Hikaru that have kept the thing that occupies him in check begin to melt away a little bit, and he almost attacks Yoshiki. Almost takes over his body with his form. The thing that is Hikaru gains composure again and pulls back and essentially pleads with Hikaru not to abandon him. The thing that's the most important to him is maintaining this connection and friendship with Yoshiki. So guilt kind of piles onto Yoshiki, and he reconciles with Hikaru and is going to stay the course for the time being. Beyond that, I think the only semi-unrelated thing that happened in the episode was we had found out that Hikaru's father died when they were younger due to going to the same mountain. Beyond that, we don't know what happened to him or what the circumstances around it were.
Maybe that's what that desiccated corpse was.
Could have been.
I loved the American diner with the American parfait.
Supersized mountain president, like explosion freedom parfait or something like that.
Yep. With the sparklers. I love how the rest of the world thinks we're that ridiculous. We are that ridiculous.
I mean, that's fair. Americanism as presented in other nations that only know America through media is typically shown to be bombastic. Much like a lot of people's perception of Japan is purely skewed from how it's presented in anime.
Yep.
So in that regard, there is a frequent thing in anime of characters indulging in over-the-top ice cream desserts. I don't know if it's a thing that truly happens with any sort of frequency within Japan, given that portions typically in dining experiences are modest, to say the least. So I suspect that is a fictitious fabrication of the anime landscape.
Probably.
So a thing that I thought about in this episode, particularly in the invasion of Yoshiki by Hikaru, is you do not have the historical context of 80s and 90s hentai, where there was an amount of titles that gained Western attention that dealt with monsters and sexual perversion. This very much reminded me of some aspects of Legend of the Overfiend as pretty much the hallmark of gratuitous horror porn, we'll call it.
Yikes.
It's the champion of the tentacle, the tentacle fetish thing.
Yeah, I definitely heard the Pornhub intro play.
Without the context, what was your take on Hikaru attacking Yoshiki?
It was overtly sexual, in a sense that he's like, oh God, no, wait a minute, this feels good. And I'm like, what the fuck?
For those who have not seen the series or read the manga, the being that is Hikaru is presented to us like an amorphous shadow, I guess you could call it.
It looks amoeboid.
It doesn't necessarily have a continuous form.
Right.
It can extend tendrils of size and shape that it desires. And so it seemed that what it was really doing was just kind of pouring itself into Yoshiki through his mouth.
Especially when he said, it's coming inside me. I'm like, he's just a kid.
He's just a kid. Whether or not the real Hikaru had sexual feelings for Yoshiki is like, I don't know if we'll ever know. I think a lot of the uncertainty with the being that is Hikaru may stem from him not being able to grasp the complexity of human emotions. It's probably the situation of it doesn't even understand what it's trying to do.
Almighty cosmic power. Itty bitty living space.
There was a segment when Yoshiki was trying to convince himself just to keep calm and carry on. He likened the thing that is now Hikaru to a young child, a snot-nosed young brat who just wants attention, but doesn't necessarily mean anything bad.
Yeah.
Aside from having the ability and will to kill those that get within its way.
So those girls were weird.
Oh, the classmates?
Yeah.
I don't know.
One girl's like finger fucking the other one's mouth. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
They're close friends that are just fucking with each other and are comfortable in their friendship in public.
Stick my finger in somebody's mouth.
I wanted to ask you what your thoughts were about the atmosphere of the episode. How well do you think progress of the animation and the effects in the animation and the audio cues went to making the episode unsettling?
I didn't really feel like this episode is very unsettling.
Even with the confrontation scene in the classroom?
Less unsettling, more like, yeah.
Wouldn't that be unsettling?
No. When I think you say unsettling, I'm thinking like how unsettling the yokai was last episode.
Okay.
Like it wasn't creepy, it was just
icky. Okay. All right.
I was hoping that we would get more creepy. I want creepy. I want to be creeped out. I want to feel uncomfortable for a scary reason.
Not uncomfortable because of an uncomfortable reason?
Yes. This week on Sakamoto Days, we watch as shit hits the fan for multiple people this episode, literally and figuratively. We get Shin using his new form of clairvoyance, which gets explained by Lou's handler.
Oh, the person from her family's gang, Mafia.
The Triad.
The Triad, sorry. Who in the previous season, at the end of it, they had to beat him in gambling to...
Which they did.
Not have her be taken from them.
Yeah, he kind of like gives us a TLDR of Shin's newest version of his power will be. And then we get fucking badass Lou, who drank an entire bottle of laboratory grade ethanol, went full drunken fist master on that bitch ass, which that was fucking cool. Seeing her like go no holds bar, take out her little hair thing. She was a badass. Fucking awesome. I loved her.
Yes.
She went and kicked Saw's fucking ass. It got to the point where Saw became afraid of dying.
Yeah.
And between the teamwork of the two of them, they were able to like beat the shit out of him so bad that he's beaten, bloodied. They both passed out.
Well, he fled the building, and I think they just kind of succumbed to their wounds and or inebriation.
Yeah. So they both passed out. Saw flees the building, threatens a guy's life, gets into a taxi, and then gets exploded.
By one of the guys from the Order.
By one of the guys from the Order, the dude with the iron jaw.
Just punched his head till it exploded.
Literally became a pink mist in that taxi, which I really hope he paid the cleaning fee for that taxi driver.
I'm wondering what the fuck happened to the driver.
Yeah. I really hope they paid his cleaning fee, though.
Well, apparently the JAA does...
they have a cleanup crew, yeah.
They have a cleanup crew that works pretty diligently, even though they're rejects.
We learned that the JAA has a cleanup crew of mostly students in assassin school who work part-time, and they really fucking hate it. And then we get this badass fight between Dump and Osaragi, which now makes sense as to why her name's Dump, because whenever she falls in love with somebody, she kills them, and they get effectively dumped.
That's fair.
I got it. It made sense. Osaragi goes to a temple to pray to her local kami and gets ambushed by Dump, into which another badass fight breaks out. We have Osaragi teach this meddlesome foreigner the proper ways of going to a Japanese temple.
How to pray to the kami.
How to effectively pray to the Japanese god that inhabits that temple. And shit hits the fan.
To be fair, she didn't have a lot of respect for the temple itself.
No, she didn't. She uses most of the temple as a weapon. The little bell that's at the top of the
altar. It's a bell that you ring when you're praying in order to gain the kami's attention.
So she uses that bell like a soccer ball. She kicks Dump so hard she like flashes back to her childhood and all past relationships, in which she murdered a poor little cat.
I mean, that's just how it works with sociopaths.
I know.
They start out killing animals and then they start killing people, and when they get older.
And then there was a little kid, and I was like, no, not the kid. So yeah, I'm glad she got beat like a redheaded stepchild, to which she got sawed in half by Osaragi's giant fucking
concrete saw,
which was cool. Enjoyed.
It was pretty good.
Then we get Heisuke overlooking the city in a...
He was in Tokyo Tower.
In Tokyo Tower. Very much being the lovable idiot that I have come to enjoy this series. It's very eclectic. They're just going through and like hunting down all these different serial killers. Deerhead from last time was on the phone with Slur talking about how the pawns are falling into step. And then Mr.
Garrote
Boy ripped Deerman in half.
Which I forgot that he's a robot, essentially.
Yeah, ripped him to fucking pieces, which, like, you deserve that, you piece of shit.
Yeah, it doesn't stop him, though. I was hoping he was going to be dead, too. I'm like, oh, that's right. He's technically immortal.
I was like, he can't die.
I was so disappointed when I was reminded of that fact. Because I hate that character so much.
We got Nagumo being a cocky bastard to Osaragi and the blonde-haired guy before she goes to the temple. And basically, the whole point of all of this is to lure the Order out into the open. And they don't... Slur and Deerman really don't care
about the four killers.
Yeah, if the killers die or not.
Of which 2 of them are dead now.
Yeah, two have already, and there's 2 more left.
2 more left. Yep.
Minimalist and adapt. At the ass end of the episode, we have Minimalist walk into the store to find that only Sakamoto's wife is there, and we're left on a cliffhanger there.
Well, it's time for Sakamoto himself to come out and flex his muscles.
Yes. And then we got an adorable post-credit scene where Lou tricks Shin into putting the watermelon that Sakamoto was going after with a wooden stick underneath his shirt. And we find out that Sakamoto has like a sixth sense and can like echolocate. And realizing that Shin is hiding the watermelon underneath his shirt, Sakamoto pulls out a box cutter and fucking only the watermelon, which causes Shin to pass out, and Lou's like crying over him going, shit, I'm so sorry. I didn't know he was going to do that. So we definitely see the like budding, like very close friendship between Shin and Lou in that post-credit scene, and just the chemistry that they're starting to get together.
I think that's the best part of the show, honestly.
Yeah, their chemistry has just like this
it's
season,
a lot of fun.
And I really like it.
It makes me not dislike Shin as much as I did last season.
Even when they're fighting with each other.
Just because Lou is such a fun character.
She is a very fun character. Her and Shin like working with each other.
It's
like
nice.
Made their powers together like, very powerful.
Yeah.
And I really like that. It's definitely the power of friendship trope.
His abilities are best used in a support role for the others.
Yeah.
I mean, that was demonstrated multiple times in the first season with Sakamoto himself.
Yeah, like when he got poisoned and he was using Sakamoto because he was fucking blind. Or in the museum.
Yes.
When they're in that weapons facility.
He was coordinating with Heisuke to kill the assassin that they were dealing with.
Yep.
Or not kill, but fight off.
Which Heisuke's
pretty good.
I like when he was like, oh, look, a telescope. I'm going to use super P-Scale vision. And I'm like, you lovable dumbass. I expected the lovable idiot to get captured. But then they're like, let's actually do Sakamoto's wife. You're like, oh.
That's how you guarantee Sakamoto's involvement immediately.
Yeah.
This episode wasn't too bad. I think what I liked about it is just the pacing. They're not fucking about.
Right.
They've killed off 2 of them so far. They're just moving through this story quickly, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
At least for my sanity.
I really like the pacing. Taking out 2 of them right away was... It's not that like, fight. Oh, we're both fucked up.
Separate. Storyline.
Heal.
Come back together.
Yeah. No, I like conclusive fights.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And having 2 conclusive fights this episode. Yes, they dragged the end of Saw's fight between 2 episodes, but getting the end of 2 fights in 1 episode was...
It was a good episode, I feel.
This week on City, we got some fever dream.
We got a new character.
We did get a new character.
I can't remember what her name is, though.
I can't remember either, but everybody seems to fall in love with her aura, her charming, accident-prone...
Her presence.
And her it seems though her smile is the one that does it. But she never gets charmed by anyone. But before that, we also get a short thing where maybe Todoroki, his idea that he's written the best play of all time.
He's apparently the sole member of a theater troupe club in the university.
At Mont Blanc University. We get introduced to Wako's sister Riko through a series of like accidents and oh my god, I'm about to die flashbacks. And we find out that literally everybody falls in love with Riko. Literally everybody. Anytime she smiles at somebody trying to be nice to her, they get hit with Cupid's arrow. And every time Cupid tries to hit her with an arrow, it just deflects right off. So we get the entire Mont Blanc trio squatting in one apartment. Makes me think that Nagumo might also be squatting. They find that the thing that Nikura had made was actually a treasure map, which led them to the same temple that Echan and Matsuri were at last episode. Nagumo, very rapidly digging a hole, finds a horned skull, which gets yeeted into space and then sent back via a kindly astronaut. And it turns out that this was all just a ploy by their landlady to get a trash pit dug for the shrine. Then we get a very cute interaction with Echan and Matsuri, where they come up with plans to win the Nobel Peace Prize. They very quickly give each other gifts, trying to see if what they're doing will actually get them the Peace Prize, and they both very much realize, oh, we like each other. So we have, again, more cute middle school interactions. The Mont Blanc trio, well, the duo of Nagumo and Mitsuri go to a bakery that only has... Nikura, sorry. Go to a bakery that has just the one slice, one piece of bread in the whole store.
It looked like a butt.
It looked like a butt. And we get the funny interaction of, what the fuck are we supposed to do at this place? And then as they grab the bun, the baker brings out a yakisoba bun, to which Nagumo's like, I want that one. Can I just put it back? And he's like, you touched it with your bare hands. You can't put that bread back. Like, it's life decisions. And Nagumo's like, no, it's a loaf decision, not life decisions. And then in the last portion of the episode, we get the very entertaining Riko's falling asleep, and the whole class keeps referencing this like savant Adatara that does like 1,000,001 different things.
The classmate of theirs.
But yeah, it's a classmate of theirs who does 1,000,001 different things, and they all keep calling him the modern day William Tell. And then they get really happy that their teacher told them that they're going to have a difficult test.
They're trying to distract the teacher from realizing that that Riko is falling asleep in class. But all their antics, the teacher just kind of brushes it off and, doesn't scold them, just tells them that their test is going to be really hard.
It's a hilarious way to end the episode. City has been just, it gets better and better every episode.
Well, yeah, you like we had talked about, as we get exposed more to the personalities and the backgrounds of the characters, their antics take on a different meaning.
I think at this point I can safely say that I'm hooked into the show. I can safely say that I enjoy the antics of the characters. It does really seem like the Mont Blanc trio is going to be the focus.
Yeah.
And not the Makabe family.
Yeah. I think Matsuri and Echan's are the most delightful.
Yes, they're adorable.
Just because of the uncompromising childhood wonder and like uninhibited imagination that they share together. It's so fun to watch their antics.
Every time they're on screen, I'm just enamored with how like adorable they are.
They're not trying to be adults.
No.
They act like 8-year-olds,
Mhm.
but they're old enough to have prescience of the world,
Yes.
which fuels their imagination and exploration.
Oh, they're definitely like overactive imagination tweens.
Oh yeah, it's so fun though.
I love it. You know, brings you back to maybe a childhood that you had where you're like, yeah, I remember, you know, having a super active imagination and all the fun that came out of that.
Yep. Endless summer afternoons. I loved the whole segment introducing us to Riko, where it was the repetitive joke of her getting into a potentially tragic event and then the life flashing before her eyes. And then when it did a turn and did it to her takoyaki and showing the octopus that became the takoyaki's journey through life to mirroring Riko's was so good.
I think it's wild that we got to see it be a baby, grow up, go to high school, go to college, get broken up with at graduation,
Yeah.
and then take a train to go commit honorable suicide at the takoyaki truck.
Once he did the job application, I'm like, oh my God, he's going to end up at like a seafood factory. But the fact that he just showed up at the takoyaki truck was one, like I couldn't see that coming a mile away. And
No.
just the subtlety in what it represented was so much worse than if he showed up at a seafood factory.
Him going to the truck, I paused and I just laughed. Like it was long, drawn out, hearty laughter because it just caught me off guard. That's like, oh my God, he's committing suicide at the takoyaki stand.
The delivery was so good.
When it hit the truck itself, I was like, damn, damn. It
It was a solid week.
was very good. Very solid, enjoyable.
Hikaru gets uncomfortable more.
Not in the scary way.
Sakamoto Days is rushing through what probably should be rushed through. Like, there's no need to draw out what we saw.
And City
think
continues
pacing
to
was
be
good.
and City continues to be hilarious.
Yeah. City is building upon its characters' personalities in a positive way. Can't wait for more.
Enjoyable season again.
So tempted to just start cracking into the manga of City and Hikaru, honestly. Well, maybe not so much Hikaru, but City, I almost cracked into it while we were talking so I could look up Taro's name. Like, no.
Such an enjoyable season.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Though honestly, I haven't really watched anything else this season. I watched all the episode 1s of everything I'm watching, and that's been it.
There's been a couple shows that have been popping up on Crunchyroll that I'm like, should probably watch you.
Yep. These shows, though,
Great.
Good.
Amazing.
good shows.
Not just good shows, great shows.
Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Well, thanks again for listening. And do not forget the Anime Plus episodes of the podcast that come out on Wednesdays, where we are talking about another amazing series from this season, Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you can find out when episodes drop. Although this podcast drops on Fridays. But, sometimes we drop random ones. And come find us on our socials. Say hi. Debate nuances of plot lines that we've misconstrued or neglected. We'll see you guys next time.